It's Callum here from 43 Degrees. Just want to show you a few of the new features in FeedMe 1.6. One of the changes that I've made that we won't see here is the trial version now has ads. That was basically to enable me to remove the restrictions that I had, so there's no feed limit now, and there's also podcast support and new YouTube feeds and the support for YouTube videos that we'll see soon. That's also been added to the trial version, so there's only really the restriction on the live tile. There's a limit of 2 feeds for the live tile for the trial now, and 7 feeds for the paid version, so that's been upped a bit as well. And you also don't have the possibility to download podcasts in the trial version, so you can listen to them, but you can't download them to your device for offline listening. So that may change. I'll see how the ads go. Okay, we'll have a look at the rest now. I've changed the layout of the group settings to accommodate a few more options in there. If we just edit this group here, my test group, you'll see there's a new option here. It's a new layout, and there's a new option here in the middle to hide or show red articles. So you can set that for each group. So if you've got a group with a lot of feeds, you can turn that off, and all of the articles that you've marked as red will be hidden, and you'll just see the new ones, the unread articles. On the second page, we've got the list of feeds here and the add button down the bottom, and here we've got a new option with the 3 at the top. We had before the manual entry search for a feed or add a feed from Google Reader, and now we've got add a YouTube feed. So if we have a look at that option, there's 7 different types of feed that we can add. There's 2 at the top, the user uploads and the video search, where you enter either a username or some keywords to search for. And then there's the standard YouTube feeds, the top rated favorites, most viewed and so on. And with them you just choose which region you want to show them from. So if you look at the user uploads, I can just enter a username here. Here's the WP Central user. Still got the old name, and if I just hit on enter there, it'll validate the feed, and I can see that everything's okay, and I can hit save. If I know I haven't done any typos, then I can just hit save straight away, and it'll go out of there. If we look at the search, pretty much the same. Just add a search term, a few keywords, and if you can type properly, which I can't with my thumb. There we go. And what I do with this one, with the search, I always hit enter, so that basically the feed gets checked and the title gets filled out for me, and then I delete all of that YouTube puts in front of the title. There we go. Then save that, and we're back in here. The other 5 here, the standard feeds, they all work the same. If we just look at the top rated, you've got basically a title that's filled out already. If I want to add something to it, I can. Otherwise, I just leave it as it is. And if you click on the region, you can choose one of the regions supported by YouTube. So get the top rated films from back home and save that. And so you can set up your YouTube feeds like that. Now these options, they basically just figure out what the URL should be, but there's a page on YouTube, the documentation for the feed API, which shows you all of the possibilities that you've got with the RSS feeds from YouTube. There's a link on 43degrees.com. If you have a look there on the homepage for FeedMe, there's a link in there to the page, and if you don't want one of these feeds that we can add through here, then you can just type it in manually, and it'll work exactly the same. It'll be recognised by FeedMe and be displayed just like any of these feeds are. Okay, so we can head back out of there. We've got all our feeds in there. Another thing that I've changed here on the group settings is that there's no OK and cancel anymore. You just go back out of here and everything will be saved Also means that if your phone locks up in the middle of doing this because you get distracted, which happens to me quite a lot, then all the settings are still there, nothing gets lost, so it'll just be saved. I have added here a discard changes button if you change any of the settings here, so that you can just remove them and only head back out of there. So just go out of there, and there we go, we've got all of our new feeds in there. So we'll just have a look at how the YouTube feeds are laid out. So go across here to the top rated ones, and we go back across a bit more. There we go. Okay, so they're just laid out as you see here, thumbnail with the play button on it here, the ratings up the top with the stars filled out, and here description and the uploader, and you can see there the bit worse rating, this one. And if you just tap the thumbnail, then the video player will open up, and this is running inside the app. So if you've got any podcasts downloading or anything like that, then they'll just keep going. And if you look here on the bottom left, if you tap the screen, the controls come up, and there's HQ and HD here for high quality and high definition videos, so you can watch high definition. I'm not going to here because my connection's pretty bad, so we won't go through that. But you can watch high quality video even on your 3G connection, no problem there. And just head back out of there. So, okay, so that's your YouTube feeds. If you've got a normal feed that's got an embedded YouTube video in it, then that'll be displayed. There'll be a little button at the top of the feed displaying, saying play video or show videos if there's more. And if there's more of them, you get a list and you can select them, and the quality's the same, it uses the same player. So so the embedded videos in a normal feed will also be found, and you can play them back in the player and in the app. Okay, another thing that I've changed in the page, in the article page, is down the bottom here, the app bar's changed a bit. It's the menu's got a bit smaller. It was at the full height last time with 5, in the last version with 5 items, and I needed a new one. And one thing I hate is scrolling in here. That just drives me nuts. So I added the share button here, and you've got Twitter, Facebook, email and SMS all in there, grouped in one button. So otherwise we would have been scrolling in here the whole time. You might have noticed that Facebook didn't have that in the last version. Pretty basic implementation. It'll take any videos, images or anything that are attached to the article and post it on your wall, and if it's just a normal text article, you can see it's a little confirmation down the bottom. If it's just a normal text article, then the first 200 characters will get posted with the ellipses if it's been cut off, and with a link to the article. So should pretty much be what you want most of the time. But if you do think, yeah, I'd rather edit that, then just let me know, and I'll see what I can do for the next version. Seems to be a pretty good way to do it for me. Then I don't have to type, I don't have to confirm anything or anything like that. I just hit the button and it gets posted and I'm done with it basically. Okay, so if we go back out of here, head back out to the main page. My battery's running out. You can see the blinking red light at the top, but we'll get through it. Okay, so I'll have a look at one of my podcast feeds. I've changed the way podcasts are implemented. If you look in here, the layout's still the same in the article page, but if I stream or if I play a download later, you can see a little player comes up down the bottom here with a little bar, and that just stays there the whole time. And it'll minimize so that you've just got the progress bar and the time running down the bottom. The good thing is is that it's always there. I can go back out and right back out to the main page. I can go into another group completely and read other stuff, and that'll just keep playing down the bottom the whole time. And if I want to see what's going on or stop it or pause it, I just tap on the progress bar and I can pause, and then it'll disappear again. I can start it back up again later on. And if I'm sick of these guys and I just want to turn them off, I press stop and we're out of there. The podcast stopped and the player's gone, and I've got the full screen back again. So I thought that was a pretty good solution for podcasts. Something that annoyed me in the last version, I have to say, is going to the external player. Meant any downloads would get paused while I went out to the external player. It also meant that I couldn't do anything else. I couldn't go into another app or even go into this and look at stuff in this app. With the solution, at least I can read other articles and read other news while I'm listening to the podcast. I can't, because I can't multitask, but some of you might be able to make use of it. Okay, so one thing I'll say to that, if you go into the settings, a really good idea to select run under lock. If you don't select that, then your podcast's just going to disappear on you as soon as your screen locks. So something that you pretty much need if you're going to be listening to podcasts. Otherwise you need to keep your screen active the whole time, and then you'll see that little red blinking light up the top, like I've got quite a lot. So okay, that's the main changes for 1.6. If you've got any feedback, any ideas, feel free to get in touch, and we'll see what we can do for the next version. Yeah, thanks very much.